Dhamma friends, today we made a special arrangements to take this hour advance. Now, that is to indicate we are going to have a Dhamma talk. So may everyone settle down and give the consent with 3 times Sadhu Sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Iti ime auso dasa dhamma bhuta tacca tata avitata ananyata samma tathagatena nabisambuddhati. Dear Dhamma friends, as we all fairly know, we have taken this particular sutta as the main topic of the series, and it is consists of 10 chapters. The first chapter or first group consists of 10 singular facts. The second group, 2 facts, 10 2 facts. Third one is a group of 10 of 3 aspects or 3 facts, 4, 5. Likewise, it is going up to 10. Therefore, it is called Dasuttara Sutta. It's starting from 1, developing up to 10. It's a kind of a theory of knowledge suggested by Venerable Sariputta, who is well qualified to do like that. So, as I mentioned in the very first talk, during the time of the Buddha, or during the contemporary time of the Buddha itself, these are the early signs to say that the knowledge started to get into organization or into analysis and presented, so that without any other method one can by heart and one can at least give the theoretical knowledge to the second generation or third generation. That is how the starting phase of the Dhamma started. And we Theravada people try to understand this is the way the teaching of the Buddha came to our time, passing 2,600 years. But if you look at in the large spectrum, this is not limited to Theravada. The whole humanity, whole knowledge belongs to human. This is the starting point. Before that, there are a lot of bits and pieces of knowledge never came into a shape. So therefore, it is not belong to one sect or one particular person. They were just floating in the air. And the Buddha not only put them into order and make it sure it is preserved so that it will take progeny, line to the generation to generation, lineage, and therefore many claims, so to say, away from this tradition, Buddhism, that we had our own separate knowledge but nothing in that sense as far as the compilation of the knowledge is concerned. This is the very early science, the compilation, the theory of knowledge, presentation. So therefore, all the other literature, all the other lineage, all the other organization started after the Buddha, maybe 500 to 600 years later. And some people say, no, the Buddha borrowed knowledge from the early traditions. Of course, Buddha was a human, and he's been brought up in the normal household atmosphere. He was taught by Sanjaya and all the kind of things. Yes, we took it. But they were disorganized, just like a Putujjana mind. They have all the knowledges. Nothing new. Everything we have, but disorganized. So much so you become slave to your disorganized knowledge, and it is hacking you, it is torturing you. So once when and where it is get disorganized, it becomes a slave. It becomes a servant. So we people, we have no time to organize it. So therefore we are on with this completely disorganized mind, and it's ever down the hill, slippery slope, falling down. So one can listen to this kind of a compilation and then understand human mind is a resource of all the knowledges. Nothing new. And the thing is, you don't know which one first. You can't make the head or the tail difference. So therefore, ultimately, you are in utter mess. More and more information, more and more you are missing. So even a little you know, Anupubba Sikha, Anupubba Kiriya, Anupubba Vatipada, that is gradual training, whatever may be the state you are, how to start, what's the next, and what is the next. And then when you go there, then naturally this knowledge become aligned, become balanced, and you can find equilibrium up to the investment that you have made. So therefore searching knowledge is detrimental. Nothing to search. Knowledge is there. Only the thing is discipline. Only the thing is restraining yourself to make them in order. So the Buddha, not only he gathered and put them in a line manner and put the Eight Noble path in a sequential order and told how to go there and do it in a systematic way, then everything will come in just like a piece of iron associated with a magnet in a systematic way, then the iron becomes magnet. There's nothing different. It's iron, carries all the qualities but disorganized. But if you associate with the magnet in a systematic way, iron get polarized, and it will be an iron, the magnet, and you can use it as a compass. Then it is only leading to Nibbana. Nowhere, wherever you turn it, it turns to Nibbana. It never lead to Nibbana in a assured manner, as far as it is not associating with the true people, associated with the noble people, associated with the magnet. Once it is magnetized, it is inclined to the Nibbana. So therefore, we make discrimination, we make sectarianism due to our disorganized mind, due to our disorganized knowledge, and it is due to the conditioning. So deconditioning, go back to the zero level, itself is a great task in our meditation, because we are assumed. We think we know this and we have this and we have that. So much so, it becomes very nauseatic as a nuisance for the teacher as well as for the beginner. So you don't know how to be a beginner. So learning how to be a beginner means you try to get the knowledge in an orderly manner or aligned way, so that easy to maneuver. So that is how Venerable Sariputta, this Dasuttara Sutta and Sangiti Sutta, whereby you can see his whole colossal knowledge, he put into a way, in such a way, even a 7-year-old Samanera can by heart. He don't know what is it. At least on a theoretical ground, this is the way it has to happen. So this is the grammar of the knowledge. So after giving the first chapter, of course we just manage the first 10 of the individual factors. Imagine if we are to complete it, I can't imagine Dhammajiva can finish it. There's so much time I am taking explaining very little tiny thing. So when you go to the Dasuttara Sutta to the end, I don't know how much I have to live. So anyway, therefore I can't claim that I have given a complete this thing, and I am not capable also. I am trying my best. And so today, the conclusive talk, he started with the conclusive statement Venerable Sariputta made after the end of the first chapter. Iti me dasa dhamma tatha bhuta tacha avitata ananyata samma tathagatina abhisambuddha. Oh dear Dhamma friends, the 10 factors or the first chapter with 10 aspects that I have already presented have their intrinsic qualities that makes the 10 things that one are real. What I mention is bhuta. It is not imagination. Bhuta, tacha is something happen. Satcha or tacha is something happen. It is not yet to happen or it is something not past. That means the Buddha, he realized these things. It is not the imagination. It is what he touched organically. Tata, it is so. It is such. There's no other way. Avitata, you can't put it in another way. This is the only way. Ananyata, there is no unerring way he has presented. So therefore there is no other way of presenting the same thing. So therefore he is galvanizing the knowledge, what he has presented, with his seconding of his limited knowledge, that is called deductive knowledge or inferential knowledge. This is what the Buddha presented after he realizing it, and he did it here and now, not the past, not the future. He is not related to the other places or other people. That is what he did. So therefore, bhuta, tacha, tatha, avitata, ananyata, this is the way the science came into being. The science usually take the criterion, if something to be accepted, that can be experimented and proved any place for any person, and that can be repeatable. So this is the way you are to see whether your findings are scientific or not. You have to understand whether it is verifiable. Simple term, verifiable. But the comprehensive approach of the Buddha and the limited approach of the science is, science always outwardly, Buddha is inward-outward comparison. That is the only difference, religious life and the scientific life. Exactly the methodology is the same. You penetrate through, you experience it, you prove it to others, and you repeatedly do it, and then no one can disprove it. That is science. But that bloody fools never apply it to oneself. They never apply how is the breath. When it is happening, how can I explain? How can I put into a paper? No scientist can do it. Because whenever your mind goes to the breath, or to say, just living, just sitting, language can't explain. So the thing is, whenever it is religious, whenever it is spiritual, you can't make a commodity to sell. Science, you can make a commodity to sell. That is why science got so much of proliferation among this commercial world, this capitalistic world. But introvert knowledge is also part and parcel. Therefore, Buddha, after explaining when and where you to be mindful on your body, iti ajjattang va kaye kayanupassī virati, bahiddha va kaye kayanupassī virati, ajjatta bahiddha va kaye kayanupassī virati. Once you apply it and comes to know this is real, you compare it with another person, other people. Not only that, you are making a statement due to your own experience that can be shareable with others, and it must be true to the other person too. So that is why Buddha never claimed as Samma Sambuddha till he teach first to the first disciple, to the Anyakondanya. Anyakondanya was the first person. And when the moment Anyakondanya realized it, Buddha was the one appreciated it, telling, okay, now I know what I realize is shareable. Extrovert, one can understand. Otherwise, Buddha is dumb Buddha or mute. He can't talk, and his talking is not communicating. So therefore, whenever the Anyakondanya become, the first disciple become, then the Buddha appreciated him, telling, Only one person realized it, then only the Buddha's knowledge became seconded. Buddha's knowledge became galvanized. Otherwise, no use. If the second person is not proving by itself, so therefore this knowledge, not scientific. That recently I read an article written by Bhikkhu Bodhi, don't try to prove Buddhism by science facts, it is foolishness, it's very dangerous. Science is always make money, always to make something commodity and sell. The Buddhism need no anyone's proof. It is proven by itself. So why should we have the scientific evidences? Of course, science can come and take refuge in the Buddha. That is what it is happening now. Because Granley Dhamma, our president of the Science Society, he says he learned Buddhism or Suttas in the Harvard University to prove new nuclear science evidences. No one can understand, Newton can't understand, Einstein can't understand, Buddha understood and it is in the book. Now their evidences can be proved according to the Buddhist teaching. So therefore these suttas are being taught in the Western university because no one can understand it. Only the science can understand is which makes sex, which makes sensuous pleasure, which makes money. So therefore when and where we become scientists, we don't know, we become slave. We become slave to the sensuous pleasure. We become slave to the sexual pleasure. We become slave to money. So we are going to be so inferior. But the good side of it is same language, same methodology. You can introvert and see, observe, what does it mean by here now I am. That is why the Venerable Sariputta in the first place, he says, Eko Dhammo Bahukaro. There's a one thing greatly helpful, that means be diligent. Be diligent about your being. Just mere being. That is the biggest great help you have. And if you are not diligent, they call negligent. You are thinking about the past, or thinking about the future, or thinking about other people, or thinking about other places. So much so you miss the bus, you are negligent, so you make enemy to yourself. You torture yourself, self-torturing. So instead, if you know the most great helpful thing, that is to say diligence, the diligence you can impose upon yourself, but you can't make a commodity out of that. You can't sell it. You can tell other people also. There's something called very helpful, Venerable Sariputta also mentioned, and in front of the Buddha, so it is very true. But less than 50%, or you say other way, more than 50%, they never understand the value of it. They say, what is different there? Diligent, they are not meant for that. So how can you make a commodity for this kind of a people? They are resistant. They are allergic to diligence. They are so addicted to negligence. That is why they go for alcohol. That's why they go for gambling. That's why they go for this and that. Hobbies, media, escapism, sensuous pleasure. Because they hate diligence. So with that kind of a people, whatever the way you are going to preach diligence, they can't taste it. So therefore you can't make a commodity. Diligence is connection between the giver and the teacher. When it is happening, it is happening. If it is not, it is not. So therefore you can't predict. So imagine if one person understands what the Venerable Sariputta is going to say. What is the Buddha recommended to be diligent? If he or she is trying to be diligent as much as possible, to the time, to the investment, proportionate to the investment, he or she is going to get results. No one is deciding. There is no second person. If you are negligent, punishment. If you are diligent, then and there it is. No tension, no frustration. You can be diligent. But still, even if you recognize this diligence to be here and now and doing nothing is the best thing I can do. Imagine your mind is how much it is pulling to this and that object. So can you accept that mind is my best friend? With that only you are supporting the mind through a whole life to give whatever the mind is asking. But it is your best enemy. It is pulling you all the time, sending undercurrents and cutting throat. So therefore understand the mind. Without diligence, no other tool. Diligence, whenever you introduce, you can understand there is no outside blockage. Your mind, misdirected mind, is so bewildered, so difficult, but it is not hopeless, hopeful. Whenever you try to apply, try to diligent, little by little, imagine about your first day, you listen to the term, the apamada or diligence, and amount of time you invested. Proportionate to that, you understand how much you are negligent in the day. Proportionate to that, you must understand how rare it is to be diligent even in a retreat. So that is your best discovery. That's your best gift, endowment. So when someone goes to Nilambe, that is the place I used to go as a layperson, they go and say, Godwin, whenever I am going to meditate, I see my mind is wandering, daydreaming, fantasizing, frustrating, irritated, self-accusing. Then with a very mild, very smiling, he says, don't you think that is the best result or the first result you got in meditation? If you are not meditating, you don't know even that. You think my mind is very obedient. Whatever I know, I can do it. I am so and so. I know that knowledge and that degree and all the kind of thing. Therefore, you don't know. Your mind itself is not listening to you. Whenever you try to introduce a neutral, verifiable object, then you can see how it is bewildered. Therefore, he says, if you can't understand this as your endowment or gift in meditation, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is the first and foremost step. That is why the Venerable Sariputta says, what is to be developed? The second factor, kayagata sati satasagata. If you wish to employ or implement this diligence, take a verifiable, under the nose object, which is as a natural gift, something like just sitting and being, or the breath, and try to be there. And you can see, with all your endeavorance, with all your effort, even the mind be here and now, even the mind with the in-breath and out-breath consecutivity, how boring, how monotonous, how uncertainty, how much doubt arises, because it won't give any sensuous pleasure. It won't give the self-boosting. It won't give any kind of a conceit. So therefore it is boring. Instead, listening sounds, thinking about past and the future, and changing your postures, calling for comfort, is so desirable. So therefore, not that you cannot earn the mindfulness in the present moment, but our bloody mind, bewildered mind, disdirected mind never appreciated it. So when and where you bring the mind here and now and appreciate it, that is called Nibbana. That is called Nibbana. So that you have to understand, result is something, the appreciation of the very result is completely different thing. So be mindful on the body, or kayagata sati, sattva sagata. It must be sata sagata. Sata means it is glad. It's a gladness. It's a rapture. Because my mind is with me. I am my best friend. So that very understanding, sattva sagata, is the crux of the teaching. It is the trick of the teaching. Even if you earn it, if you do not understand, you are your enemy. Even if you know When your mind is not past, not future, not other places, not other purpose, but here and now. And if you were to appreciate it, this is the biggest gift the Buddha gave. I practiced and came to know. And this is the only thought moment in my whole samsara, free of defilements. So therefore, how can I make a point to be glad, a point to be rapture, when and where mind come and hear? Then you are an enormously happy, enormously rich person, because no limit that you can be here and now. Any moment you can come. So that is the way you make a very rich person, contented person, happy person, saturated person, more than asking other helps, other support, other pleasures, past, future. So therefore, kayagata sati satasagata, it's a kind of a very common thing you always know. Anytime you can come, but you do not know how to appreciate it. That is why in the English proverb it says, more than giving the present, accepting the present is more important. In our life, it is been naturally given. The present moment, because we are not paralyzed, because we are not ridden by inferiority complex, we are not blind, we are not deaf, our faculties are intact, and we are not sin mad. So we have all the capacities. But whenever you become full-fledged, you always think about the sex or sensuous pleasure, or one-upmanship, or egotistic, or try to grab more and more material. Each and every endeavor is deprive you from the present moment. So therefore, kayagata sati satasagata. Happily be with the present moment, and you understand no one can pull me. Even the sounds and pains are pulling me. Again, I can come back at home, be with the present moment. And that is up to you to maximize in your way of life. Even you go back home, whatever the way you have, the so-called distractions are very, very weak. Example given is, if you light a candle in the center of the lawn or in the playground, you can see cross currents of air is always flickering. The wave never allowed to burn upright. So much cross current. But immediately when the cross currents are there, not there, then it is natural the flame to become upright. If you fix a chimney, naturally it is upright, because that is the nature. So therefore the cross currents are so weak. It can flicker, it can shake it off, but natural thing is to uprightness. So your uprightness is not there as far as you are not mindful. Even if you are mindful and doubtful, it's a very pathetic situation. Even if you are mindful and thinking, then what? No medicine for that disease. It is such an incurable disease because you are in it. It is example given. A fish came out of water and go to the hydrologist and ask, what is the meaning of water? Bloody hydrologist, what does he know regarding to the fish? Fish born out of water, live out of water, need know any kind of thing. But fish thing, hydrologists know better than me. And go to the hydrologist and ask, what is water? How is the water? What is the definition for water? So exactly, people with mindfulness, they seek security. They seek this and that away from the present moment. That is what you call eccentric. So therefore the Buddha says, Venerable Sariputta compile and say, the third thing you must understand very clearly that knowledge that you must have is whenever our mind is go with contact, it is seeking the contact with higher intoxication, giving higher pleasure. The contact is geared, contact is already sharpened to go for the higher intoxication and higher gravity. So therefore, when and where you give the mind, the meditative object neutral, you find it is not tasty, it is boring, it is monotonous, it is fearful, uncertain, sleepy. Instead, mind is jumping. So if you understand the type of contact, it's a mental factor. So always going for the intoxication or cankers or asana and try to grab hold. So therefore, if you give the helm or steering wheel to the contact, it will lead you to hell. Definitely it is seeking intoxication, cankers, asana. So understanding that I am always trying to develop more and more contact with the visual objects, sounds, smell, taste, and the tactile sensation. And the selection criterion is the pressure principle. More and more intoxication, more and more cankers. And you will never understand as far as you give a pivotal point, a reference point, meditative object. Because it's already a mad monkey jumping from branch to branch without any calculation. So that it goes. So you just suggest the mind, this is your hope, this is your benchmark, it's your pivotal point, this is your reference point, it's your object of meditation. When and where you have no that much of kind of thing, please come and wait here and now. And that is the most benevolent, beneficial thing Buddha is suggesting. Venerable Sariputta is suggesting, or you can say Venerable Dhammajiva is suggesting. You can't keep this jumping because it is always in the pleasure principle. But don't hate that character. You have to understand that character. You must be pariññaya. Ever you have to understand, not only in sitting meditation, not only in walking meditation, not only in the meditation center, even in the party, even if you are traveling in the train, you can understand whenever the contact is there, it's always seeking place where a lot of asavas or cankers or intoxicants. And naturally it is going. It's like magnet pulling iron. That pull is there. So without understanding, in Sabbasava Sutta, Buddha mentioned, Dassana pahatabba. Once you see only asavas, how it is working through the contact, then only you can make a remedy for that. Otherwise, you are just succumb to the situation. You are just a slave. Always contact is leading you. It is like put a hook to the bull and you can control it by the nasal this thing. That is how the contact is leading us, and you can understand the whole world, how their life, how whatever the thing. And imagine like this, you are putting up a big mansion, and you have all the kind of visual objects, you have all the kind of sounds, you have all the kind of smells, and different taste with the good cook, all the beddings and kind of thing. And at a given time, can you entertain all? No. So you accumulate the best, everything. And when you are consuming, just see one thing at a time. Others are just in paste. You have to pay tax. You have to maintain them. Otherwise you are just ruining your mansion. So always you are maintaining it, but bloody craving fellow can't entertain only one thing at a time. And if you go to a millionaire, I am happy I have never seen even such a person. Go to a millionaire and ask, are you entertained in these visual objects, or sounds, or smell, taste, or comfort? He will say to you as secret, my only solace is when I am sleeping. I don't have sleep. I have insomnia. I can't sleep. Because people can come and, the tax people come and lift my tax file. Or robbers can come. Or others may come and entertain it. So therefore, only thing is, my peace is, balance is, only when I am sleeping. But I am sorry, I can't sleep without sleeping tablets. You know how many sleeping tablets they are using in America per year? The richest country? World record. They can't sleep. So when you are in sleeping, and we say it's in the highest happy, then you go and ask, where is you happy with the visual objects or with your eye? No. Where is your happiness in the sounds or with the eardrum? No. Is you happy with the smell or nose? Olfactory? No. Taste and this thing, or even do you feel the bed sheet at least in sleeping? No. So when where you are away from the senses, highest happiness. Highest happiness for the millionaire living in the mansion. Still he do not know the contact is the bloody thing leading you to this torturing. Ever torturing. But don't hate. That's the point when the Dhammajiva says, Parinyaya, you must understand, you are blindfolded, you are carried away by all the sensory organs and the sensuous impingements, but you don't know what is the selection criteria, what is the agenda. You are just following. Simply, Sigmund Freud put it as a pleasure principle. So this is what happens. So therefore, if you, when and where you put a neutral object, then you can say how difficult it is to keep it in the neutral object, verifiable object, because of this sense. It is based upon the asava, upadanya. Nothing to grab hold in the primary object, nothing intoxicating the primary object, so it is boring. So it's monotonous. Instead you feel like listening, smelling, tasting, touching, and not only that, we are criminals. We are making them for our second progeny, our children. We try to give as much as possible visual objects, as much as possible sounds, taste, smell, touch, and as they are the best gift. Without tasting, without testing. Not only tasting, without testing. So when Dhammajiva says, before thinking about other benefits, giving something to other, be aware how the contact is misleading you. And for that, the best thing is to have a pivotal point, have a reference point, have a verifiable point, which is neutral, and keep in that you can understand how it is jumping like a mad monkey, jumping from one to the other. So whenever you understand it, you may see, when and where I do not find that desired object, desired pleasure, always in anger, in irritation. The irritation and the anger is the root cause of knowledge. Because you search, because this is not good. Therefore you want to have a better thing. Research, search, knowledge, everything is because you are not happy now. That's why you are searching something new. So all the knowledge based upon the hatred. So it says, you have to understand, asmimana is coming to, I have to do, I have to have conceit, both of them more toward the head. So therefore, more and more you searching for knowledge, more and more you hate the present moment. And it is tatha, it is real, it is true, it is so, no otherwise. Whenever you are searching, you hate the present moment. Whenever you are in the present moment, you are in the bliss. So searching means you are searching hell. So imagine at the deathbed, but you are searching. You will never understand that I am dying, but instead to say, that is what I was searching about, so you may be brooding and thinking and dreaming, so that you will be pulled into life. Because you have never experienced something neutral in the life and appreciate it. Appreciate, now I am here, doing nothing. Now, here and now, so this is what. Whenever it is come to here and now, no ego, no conceit, no hatred, no desire, which is verifiable under your very nose. But you never consider this as noble, never consider this as something achieved, never consider this as an endowment or gift. Instead, minding, no, searching is better. Other places are better. The cow eating grazing in this bank of the river, see, other bank is much greener. This part is very lot of dry matter and kind of thing. The cow eating in the other bank is very rich. So full green. So always you try to point to the other bank. So therefore you never entertain what you get. What you got in this life itself is your good past karma according to the Buddhist theory. But you are not entertaining. So next life you will go to the better things. Still you are not entertaining. You are thinking about something. The other show. The other bank. So this is what the multimillionaires are exploiting. This is what does it mean by advertisements. This is what the multinational companies are exploiting you. So it is, they are not fully culprit because you are vulnerable. You are never happy. Whatever you get. So therefore, Venerable Sariputta is telling, be aware, this egotistic idea, the never satisfying, the mana, the conceit, is ever burning like a fire, like a wildfire. You can't. So when and where you keep in the mind, in the present moment, then with respect to the distractions, with respect to the daydreaming and fantasizing, you can see how I am being pulled away from my home place or horses or my soul is because of the momentum of the egotistic idea, momentum of the conceit. So whenever you see it, of course you feel miserable, but one fact is very positive. It's a better side of everything is within my jurisdiction, no second person involved. So I am omnipotent, omnipresent God. If I wish, I can go and I can kill myself. Or if I wish, I can be here. So therefore you will never start or never see fault with others. You will see everything is within me. It's a kind of potential. You understand it. The unmindful people, unwise people consider this as a weakness, vulnerability. But the person who knows how to put that into the proper perspective, he says, okay, it is jumping, yes. It is due to my past likings and disliking, personality traits. But I can bring it back to the reference point and make the reference point the second nature so that the past tendencies and the momentum will be slowed down. That's no other way. So therefore maximize the time with the diligence and be aware with your bodily posture. Then slowly it is happening. You can't be smart. You can't accelerate it. You have to be very patient. Slowly you have to do. For that only, if you misunderstand it, you are falling from the frying pan to the fireplace. If you understand this, you know, okay, it is a mistake. So far I was not well instructed. I was not prepared. Now I know that being here and now is boring, but anyway it is secure. So therefore I must try to facilitate as much as possible, even though it appears boring. Be here and now. More and more you go there, you find that is what you call the wise reflection. Visheshabhagiya Dhamma, or that make you distinct from the other rest of the humankind. You know how to put it to the benevolent way, beneficial way, due to your wise reflection. And that wise reflection, that's Yonasomanskara is being translated as wise reflection. The more appealing way is it's a radical reflection. It's an unconventional reflection. So therefore it is little dangerous reflection. You are compromising to be here and now, even though it is boring. You will never happy with the mind, even though it is dragged away for the daydreaming, fantasizing. So you must have this dangerous or radical or revolutionary kind of reflection, and the whole society is not happy with you for that. They want you to be a conventional and thinking as they think. So this is the point you have to think about. Don't ask advice for anyone. No one is qualified. Everyone is chasing behind the pleasure principle. What is the qualification they have? But they jump and give opinions. That is true, because they have their own agenda to have disciples and all the kind of thing. But the real one, day by day you understand, it depends on your radical reflection. Then only, and only then, you will appreciate your meditative life. You will appreciate the primary object. You will appreciate the mindfulness. You will appreciate the diligence. Be here and now. But whenever someone is asking, what are you doing? What is your objective? Whenever you are going to explain, they will look at you as you mad. There's something wrong with you. Definitely, because they can't understand where is your objective, sir. You are trying to be here and now. They will say, you are utterly wasting time. Why don't you go and do a diploma, and within 6 months at least you can get a diploma, you can register into BS or MS or do something. What I am doing is doing nothing. Who the hell, who is advising you? Then I am trying to, of course it is partly my mistake, I tried to be a monk or full-time meditator. I know I am utterly unsuccessful be a monk because I am such a radical person. One day, department philosophy, Buddhist and Pali department professor was sitting side by, and there's a white fellow is talking with me, and there's another person. And white fellow is asking, maybe an American, is there any people nowadays thinking about full-time meditation? They thought it is something historical. Nowadays people are not becoming ordained because people are behind pleasure principle. My friend told, this guy is a mad fellow, he is trying to be a monk. He knows about. You know what the department of head of the Pali and Buddhism came? She was an elderly, motherly person and came in and said, are you sure you are going to be a monk or full-time meditation? Then I felt that is a secret leaked. So I just want to keep, then maybe, didn't you marry yet? Have you gone to foreign countries? Don't take that decision. Before that you have to have a marriage. You have to go another countries. And then only you have to decide. Otherwise you are in a frog in a well. You don't know. Then I told, I have been to foreign countries. Have you married? I have no idea. You see, they come very motherly, very opinion giving. They say, don't take such a decision, you are so young and your prime age. Why you are taking such a dangerous decision? Imagine what will be my mother's opinion. Lucky enough, my mother is an ignorant lady, only gone to the second class. So she never interfered to my life. So lovely. Because I was so educated in the postgraduate, even at that level, she told, I am not going to put fingers into you, but you know, please darling, reflect again and again, do if you wish it is good. Then I told, thank you very much. You are a really motherly. Don't poke fingers into mine. I know what to do. Each and every you have to fight against this, going against the grain. So whenever you try to be Yoniso Manasikara, you are going against your will. You are going against the society. Don't declare war. Don't try to be a fool. Behave like a defeated person. Behave like a beginner. Yes, you are correct, yes. I have something, I have to go to the toilet, please, excuse me. best way. Don't try to reason it out. You are asking for endless talk. This world is mad, mad, mad world. Yonsumansikara is not a rare thing, but you don't know how to defend it. Don't try to get engaged with these kind of people. They are waiting to talk with. Nonsense. They are nothing to talk. So therefore, if you are going to give answers, finish, says something wrong in my mind, I don't know. Or I have an immediate thing to go to the toilet or something like that. These are the excuses. So to maintain the Yonisomansikara. Otherwise, if you are going to answer this thing, that is why Siddhartha, the Gautama, left the palace without informing anyone. Do you think if he is going to go and ask Yasodhara, telling that, say bye-bye and give a kiss to Rahula, will it be implemented? First child. Of course. And everyone says he is such an unkindful person. Without giving a kiss to the just born baby and the beloved wife, he left in the night. And if you read the Bible gives in a very drastic way. The Jesus says, if you can't hate your mother and father, you will never be my disciple. It's very dangerous. If you can't hate your mother and father, you will never be my disciple. Instead, the Buddha told, while my mother and father crying, I left the household. It's exactly the same thing in a decent way. You don't know that art. You can't learn this art because your mind is other directed. It's very difficult. And once you come here and get the Yonisomansikara installed, you must understand, very difficult to see, you are born enlightened. You are born enlightened, the enlightenment is inside the mind, you are searching outside. So to penetrate into that, your very humanness is the enlightenment. Or enlightening into your humanness is the message of the Buddha. You try humanness in the American government. Never. Humanness is within you. So therefore, when you search deep into it, it is not with the sensuous pleasure. You have to go a little deeper and then be with the primary object and still go deeper and deeper. Then you can go and see away from this conscious mind. There's a huge amount of subconscious. It's completely mystic, completely unpredictable. So how much boldness you have to cut through your conscious mind or your, we'll say, primary object, and then go to the unknown area. It is a blockade. It is, of course, it is empty. But your mind has so much of phobia. Mind is having so much of entertaining doubts, so much of fear, so much of irritation and self-hate. You never love yourself. You never love your true nature. That's why you love your spouse. It's outside. Whenever you love yourself, it's an enormous journey. It is difficult to penetrate. Not due to that it's a hardness, but your mind is not prepared. It is not dedicated to Buddha. It is not dedicated to Venerable Sariputta. You are thinking always about the sensuous pleasure. So it is therefore very difficult, the most difficult thing to penetrate is there's an unshakable concentration inside the mind. You never believe, you think my mind is unshaken due to the sound, due to the pain, due to the thought. Bullshit. Unshaken mind, unshaken concentration is all the time with you, if you know how to find it. Go deep. Don't worry about the peripheral or superficial thing. They are always making waves, making troubles. If you go and take refuge of the superficial thing, definitely you will be hacked, you will be massacred, butchered. But instead go deep, and then you find, even though it is difficult to penetrate, it's something you have to understand, so you have to to let it arise deep down That's the peace. So that is what you must make a friendship with before the death, before the old age, before the sickness. Otherwise, you will think refuge is outside, what will be my next birth, and what will be tomorrow, and everything reference point is outside. But when and where you go deep and deep and deep, you understand it is waiting till you come. That inner peace is waiting till you come. You are always under director. So when you go deep and deep and deep, you may find the way the Buddha go into that, the way the Venerable Sariputta went into that, way the you go into that, exactly the same. The way you go in. Don't worry about the fearful thing. Don't worry about the mistakes. Be aware that you are in precepts. Be aware that your mindfulness is intact. You are doing with faith. Anything can happen. So this is the adventure in the human life. No one think about it. Everything become adventurous like a James Bond, having a pistol in your hand or a sword in your hand and fighting and bloody cowardly fellows. They don't know the human adventure. They know within 2 seconds if you can take the pistol and shoot the fellow into the heart, that is adventure. Whenever the no pistol, where is he? All the present-day technicians, take them away from their workshop and their tools. They don't know how to do even brushing their teeth. They are so imbibed with their gadgets and tools and all of them, so much so they become slaves. Imagine the Buddha, the king-to-be, went to the forest without anything, lived 45 years as the happiest man in the world, without any tool. As Channavetili asked, where are the toilets for 12,000 people when they are traveling? When we are organizing a retreat in 20 people, how much you are searching about the toilet facilities? How much you are searching about the hygiene? How much you are, and when imagine 12,000 people, Buddha bring it to his homeland. No one is there to give a cup of water. But still they were happy people. Imagine how much we are slavery to the materiality. Without materiality, where are we? How can we thrive? How much we are away from our nature? So you can penetrate into. And then one day you understand, moment you go out, it's a very addicted journey, just like drug addicted, just like womanizing, just like gambling. You will taken away. No problem. Day by day you will taken away, but you are away from your reality, away from your inner core. That understanding and take this inner core, it is not given by Buddha, it is you are born with. You are born free, you are born enlightened. You go there, then that is the one to be realized. And not only in the sitting cushion in the meditation hall, wherever it may be, these 10 aspects, one or the other become relevant to you. And you must understand how to use the proper tool. And more use, it becomes more and more Buddha. It is really Tacha, it is the truth. Tata, it is suchness, it is so. No one can come out. Avitata, there is no other way. There is no ananyata, no other truth besides that. So that is why Venerable Sariputta is bringing and compiling it and says, this is the way the Buddha realized it. I am compiling and give it to you, even if you can't realize it. If you can deduce it, if you can get to the inferential knowledge, it's a great achievement. If it is not so, if you can't realize or if you can't get to the deductive knowledge, just pass this message to the second generation for theory knowledge, for the book knowledge. That is our task in the present contemporary age. So therefore, when and where it is learn, book knowledge or listening, or when and where you contemplate and see part and partial, I can understand, others are very deep, never mind. The part you understood, put into practice, and slowly, that theory knowledge leading to the inferential knowledge or deductive knowledge or rational, and then it is lead to the reality. Ultimately you find you are on the way. Everyone is on the way. And it says, wherever you may be, you are way back home. So therefore let the mind to run away any place. Be aware about the whole way back. Now it coming back to the primary objects. It's a so encouraging knowledge. Hope this talk given so far and today is really giving the confidence, self-confidence for you to proceed, and hope it will be going to give a good vibration to the others, not only at the meditation center, even at the back at home, and you will be a good role model. With that idea, with that blessing, I am going to sum up the today's talk and then conclude the series of talks. Thank you very, very much for listening. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.